Okay, let's dive into this explainer and crack the code on what is, quite frankly, one of the most notoriously tricky topics in your entire computer science syllabus. We're talking about the relationship between assembly language and machine code. Now, if you're studying for the 9618 AS and A-level exams, Section 4.2 can feel like hitting a massive brick wall. But today, we're going to transform that frustration into absolute clarity by looking at exactly what the principal examiners are actually demanding from you. So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll be covering the assembly challenge, our core foundations, the procedural framework, a few critical warnings, and finally, those top mark strategies. Let's jump right in. Section 1. The assembly challenge. Confronting the stumbling block. Okay, so straight from the Cambridge Principal Examiner reports comes this pretty hard truth. They state that this specific relationship between assembly language and machine code is literally one of the most consistently misunderstood areas across the entire subject. It happens all the time. Students walk into that exam hall, they see a 4.2 question, and they immediately drop perfectly attainable marks. But you've got to ask yourself, why does this specific low-level topic trip up so many otherwise brilliant students? I mean, is it just a lack of knowledge about registers and opcodes? Or is it a flaw in how they're actually tracing the code when the clock is ticking down? Let's figure it out.
Section 2. Core Theoretical Foundations. Knowing the rules of the game.
To really fix this, we have to understand the rules. The assessment objectives for this are beautifully balanced. The examiners are targeting 3 distinct cognitive domains, almost in perfect thirds. You've got 33% going to raw knowledge, 33% for application, and the final 34%, the biggest slice of the pie, dedicated to analysis. So just memorizing textbook definitions of mnemonics, yeah, that's just not going to cut it anymore. This brings us to a really interesting contrast. Average students tend to rely on what we call superficial breadth, just listing every fact they've ever learned about assembly language without actually connecting the dots. But the academic benchmarks, they demand analytical depth. So for instance, it's not enough to just know what LDR means. You need to trace exactly how it affects the accumulator and the index register within a very specific loop. You absolutely need that depth over just breadth. Section 3. The procedural framework. The method mark strategy. Right, here is the secret sauce. We call it the method mark strategy. Think of it like this. Examiners award marks for the process, not just the output. Because low-level programming requires step-by-step trace tables, if you just leap straight to the final memory address without showing how your accumulator changed line by line, well, you're leaving easy points on the table. Your logical reasoning is literally worth marks here. So, to lock in those method marks, you're going to want to use this 5-step standard pipeline. It's a real game changer. First, deconstruct the question. Second, extract your relevant data, like those initial register values. Third, select your analytical framework. Fourth, execute it with crystal clear notation, meaning fill out that trace table systematically. And finally, step 5, present everything using the correct terminology. Master this deconstruct, solve, evaluate loop, and it basically becomes your exam safety net.
Section 4. Critical examiner warnings, traps to avoid.
Even with the best framework, you've got to watch out for the classic traps. The principal examiner reports specifically highlight these major pitfalls, so definitely burn these into your memory. First up, candidates constantly mix up addressing modes, like confusing immediate data with direct memory addresses. Big mistake. Second, they often fail to update the accumulator correctly during a loop. And third, providing generic, textbook answers instead of actually tracing the specific assembly program given in the prompt. But honestly, the biggest examiner alert of all, terminology confusion. The reports show time and time again that candidates misuse technical terms, and it's a massive drain on their scores. The fix here is super simple. Never, ever assume the examiner knows what you mean. You need to explicitly define your terms. Make sure you're clearly distinguishing an opcode from an operand before you start throwing them around in your extended responses.
Section 5. Top mark strategies, elevating your evaluation.
Okay, so when it comes to evaluating algorithms and comparing assembly language to high-level languages, top-tier candidates will systematically break down 3 specific factors. Number 1, time complexity. How exactly does direct hardware manipulation impact your processing speed? Number 2, space complexity. What is the actual, tangible memory footprint of your machine code? And number 3, edge cases. What are the actual performance limits of the hardware itself? Systematically addressing these 3 things is exactly how you hit those higher-order analysis marks. There's a massive difference between a standard approach and a mastery approach. A standard candidate looks at a problem and just tries to find one single workable solution. That's it. But a top-tier candidate, they demonstrate true evaluative thinking. They're exploring multiple approaches, analyzing the trade-offs, acknowledging the literal limitations of the hardware, and then making justified recommendations that are backed by hard evidence. It's a completely different level of play. So I'm going to leave you with this somewhat provocative thought to really challenge how you tackle your very next past paper. If an examiner picked it up right now, would they just see a completed answer, or would they see a justified, critically analyzed solution? Remember to build those core foundations, apply the procedural framework, steer clear of those terminology traps, and always push for that analytical depth. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, best of luck mastering assembly language.